Hello. This is coming to you from a B&B bedroom in Lima in Peru. And I'm speaking to you, as you can probably already tell, after a pretty long day. Two flights. The first was like an hour and a bit. The next was over 12 hours. Slightly delayed, but all good overall. My body's telling me otherwise, and no idea where I am in terms of time zone, but here I am. I've made it, and it's about 9:30 p.m. and I'll be getting up at 5 to get to the airport tomorrow to get my flight to Iquitos. So I will be brief, but I felt I should say something now that I'm here. I can say that the nerves finally started kicking in yesterday. I had to think when yesterday was. I think mostly to do with going to a country I've never been to before, and I don't speak Spanish, but so far everybody's been speaking great English, so that's lucky. That's a privilege, and I'm not sure if the nature of the ayahuasca is really a reality for me as yet. I mean, obviously it's not in the sense that I haven't had any yet, but I'm not scared of that yet. It's more a sense of I'll get what I'm given, and I'm hopeful that what I'm given is ultimately going to be productive and useful and important. So I look forward to looking back on this video on the other side of having had ayahuasca and thinking, I don't know what, but more than likely I suspect you didn't know what you were getting yourself in for. So yes, I guess I can add a couple of things. That doing the Dieta has been a bit tricky. It seems to be that most agree that you should do it for at least the 3 days before you begin with the ayahuasca, and some prefer longer. With alcohol and red meat, you're meant to cut those out completely for a good, preferably 2 weeks in advance, and I've done that about 3 to 4 weeks, almost 4 weeks with those, which wasn't such a big deal. It's a bit trickier when you get closer though, because there's a lot of different kinds of lists and different banned substances. So that can be a lot of stuff from just salt, which is a little bit important, but I assume no additional salt. You can't have spicy food, no dairy. Some say no wheat, meaning essentially you need to eat gluten-free, but not all, and the place I'm going to doesn't specify that. Some say no caffeine, and again the place I'm going to doesn't specify that. They in fact have coffee available, but say you cannot have any within 12 hours of drinking ayahuasca, meaning both you can't have it under 12 hours before or under 12 hours after. So I guess caffeine is an issue, but they're not totally banning it the rest of the time, which is handy to have got through today. It was tricky eating on the plane, that's for sure. My attempt to choose the most boring sounding meal imaginable didn't turn out brilliantly. The dairy-free vegetarian option still threw up sort of a mixture of odd soy-based things, and soy is also on the not okay list, so it's good that I stocked up on some organic type salads in Heathrow before I set off, although they got less and less delicious as time went by. Anyway, incredibly, the people here at this B&B, check out the slightly disturbing art on the wall. I hope that's not going to reappear in a vision, because I'd happily not ever see it again. Yeah, the people here are really nice, very accommodating. I had a nice chat with the staff here. The guy who drove me here is thinking about drinking ayahuasca himself. He's from here, and was chatting away about it. It's very open. It's interesting. People my impression is they know what it is, compared to back home where it's a mystery. They're like, "You're I what?" But I'm also interested to know what the opinion is. I was a bit worried to mention it to this taxi driver because I thought, well, is he going to think I'm just some kind of tourist guy out for kicks? Which obviously that's not why I'm here. But he didn't have that attitude at all, and I hope to encounter more people who are just sort of interested, intrigued, and so on. Yeah, I was going to add that if the stress things didn't kick in or haven't yet kicked in sort of clearly mentally, they have physically. My dodgy shoulder has been playing up seriously, and as I can see, and you can see, I've started coming out in a beautiful array of spots over the past few days. So I think my body is expressing physically what's going on there. So I'm not trying to suppress it, I suppose, but it's finding a way to come out physically. It'd be interesting to find out if I'm going to have a moment where that flicks into more of an emotional thing, or whether it's maybe healthier that it's just dealt with in this physical way. I don't really know. Okay, so I have very little energy left, so instead of boring you with more additional ramblings, I'll leave this just as a short update. Tomorrow, as I said, I'll be flying to Iquitos. We'll be picked up there by the people from the retreat, the sanctuary as they call it, and be taken into the jungle. So the next night I spend will be in the Amazon rainforest. Fucking hell. So that's just pretty exciting in itself. There will be Wi-Fi there, though I don't know how good it'll be. I think everything there is solar powered, so it may be a little temperamental on that basis. So maybe this will go up before I make it there. Depends on the Wi-Fi here. Maybe there'll be other things to share, but whatever, you will get the updates, and things are about to get interesting. Okay, bye for now.